I've always been one of those people who is endlessly curious about the things I shouldn't be. When I was a kid, it was scary movies or ghost stories. As I got older, my interest turned to the weirder, darker parts of the internet. Not the typical surface web where most people spend their time, but the deep web, and eventually the dark web. I had no real reason to go there at first. I wasn't looking for drugs or counterfeit money like a lot of people were. My curiosity was purely academic, or so I told myself. I just wanted to know what was out there, what people were hiding. That's how it started. It was late one night around 2 a.m. when I first stumbled upon a strange forum. I'd been browsing dark web message boards for hours, reading conspiracy theories, urban legends, and all sorts of weird, unsettling stuff. But this one forum was different. It had a minimalist design, nothing flashy, just a plain black background with white text and a single banner that read, "Welcome to the network." I clicked into it figuring it was just another community of hackers, black market dealers, or some underground cult-like group. But what I found was more unsettling than anything I'd seen before. The main thread was titled, "Make a Wish." Underneath, it had a description that sent a chill down my spine. "Tell us your deepest desire, and the handler will make it happen, for a price." I scrolled through the replies, half expecting to find trolls and fake stories, but they weren't like anything I had seen before. These were serious requests. Some people were asking for small things, like money or an easy way out of a bad relationship. But others were darker. There were people asking for revenge, for someone to disappear, for lives to be ruined. And then the most disturbing part, people claiming their wishes had been granted. It was clear that the handler, whoever or whatever they were, had some real power. I don't know why I did it. Maybe it was the fact that I was bored, or maybe I just didn't believe any of it was real. But after reading through the thread for what felt like hours, I posted a comment of my own. "I want proof. I want to know if you're real." That was it. No grand request, no dark desire, just proof. I regretted it almost instantly. It was like I'd thrown a pebble into a still pond and was waiting for the ripples to come back and hit me. But nothing happened. I sat there for another hour, refreshing the page, checking my email, waiting for a reply. It wasn't until the next night that I got a message. It appeared in my inbox just after midnight, from a user named Handler. The message was short, but it chilled me to the bone. "You'll have your proof. Tomorrow, 3 a.m. Be ready." There was something about the way it was phrased, something so cold and clinical about it. It didn't feel like a prank or a joke anymore. This was something serious, and I'd already dug myself in too deep. The first knock. The next night, I couldn't sleep. I paced around my apartment, nervously glancing at the clock. As 3 a.m. crept closer, my anxiety grew. What was going to happen? Was someone coming? Was I going to be hacked, robbed, or worse? 3 a.m. arrived, and with it, nothing. For a full 5 minutes, I sat there, staring at the clock, wondering if it had all been some elaborate ruse. And then I heard it. A knock on my front door. It was soft, almost hesitant, but unmistakable. My heart rate skyrocketed. Who the hell would be knocking at my door at 3 in the morning? I grabbed a kitchen knife before slowly making my way to the door. My apartment wasn't in the best neighborhood, and I wasn't about to take any chances. I peered through the peephole, that there was no one there. Another knock, louder this time. My hand shook as I opened the door, knife raised, ready for anything. But there was nothing. No person, no sign of life, just a small, plain brown box sitting on my doorstep. Against my better judgment, I took the box inside. It was unmarked, no shipping label or name. I opened it carefully, half expecting it to explode or trigger some sort of trap. Inside was a single item, an old battered flip phone. I stared at it, confused. What the hell was this supposed to be? Before I could process it, the phone buzzed to life, the screen lighting up with a single message: "Call me." My heart hammered in my chest. The first call. I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I dialed the number that appeared on the screen. The phone rang twice before a voice picked up. It wasn't like any voice I'd heard before. Cold, emotionless, slightly distorted. "I told you I'd give you proof," the voice said. I swallowed, my throat dry. "Who are you?" There was a brief pause, and then the voice responded, "I'm the one who makes things happen. You asked for proof. Now you owe me." That phrase, "you owe me," sent a chill down my spine. "What do you mean? I didn't ask for anything." "You asked for proof and you got it. Now it's time to repay the favor." The spiral begins. The phone calls came every night after that, always at 3 a.m., always the same voice on the other end. At first, the tasks were small. Leave a package in a certain place, deliver an envelope to a specific address. I didn't know what was in them, and I didn't want to know. But I did it because every time I thought about refusing, I remembered the voice. "You owe me." It didn't take long before the tasks escalated. One night I was told to follow someone. They gave me a description: a middle-aged man, brown hair, glasses, and an address. I wasn't supposed to do anything, just follow him, watch where he went. So, I did. I followed him to a parking lot. I watched as he got out of his car and met another man. I couldn't hear their conversation, but I could tell something was off. The other man was angry, gesturing wildly, while the man I'd followed stood there, looking terrified. And then, without warning, the second man pulled out a gun. The shot rang out in the night, deafening in the quiet. I stood frozen, watching as the man I'd followed collapsed to the ground, blood pooling beneath him. I wanted to scream, to run, to do something, anything, but I couldn't move. I was trapped, paralyzed by fear. The next night, the phone rang again. "Good job," the voice said. "Now let's move on to the next task." The breaking point. The tasks became more frequent, more dangerous. Every time I thought about going to the police or smashing the phone, I was reminded that the handler knew everything about me. They knew where I lived, where I worked, who my friends were. Every time I even thought about disobeying, something would happen. An anonymous email, a strange package on my doorstep, a picture of me taken without my knowledge. I was trapped. I had become the handler's puppet. The worst part? I had no idea why. I hadn't asked for anything. I hadn't wanted anything. All I wanted was proof. Proof that the dark web wasn't just stories and rumors. And now, I had it. But it had cost me everything. The final call. The last call came a week ago. I knew it was coming. The voice had grown more insistent, more demanding. I had been doing the handler's bidding for months now, and I was on the verge of breaking. When the phone rang at 3 a.m. that night, I knew this would be the end. "You've done well," the voice said, "but now it's time for your final task." I waited, holding my breath. "Kill someone. Tonight." I froze. "What?" "No, I can't do that. You've been following orders for months. Now you'll finish it, or else." What followed was a night of terror, suspense, and a final confrontation that pushed me to my breaking point. By the time the sun rose the next morning, my life had changed forever. And the handler, they're still out there waiting, watching, because once you get involved with them, they never let you go.